Don, the affordability con strikes again, and lots of breaking news. The stake starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the stakes. 'Tis the season, everyone. As much as we try to get into the Christmas spirit and enjoy the holidays, as you see, I'm always festive. We can't seem to get away from the crazy, but tonight I have Mallory Hagan with me. Michelle is off. So Mal's coming to hang out with me, and we're going to talk all kinds of stuff. And we have a debut new Seneca Project video to show you guys exclusively tonight on the stakes coming up in just a moment. Mal, how are you? Looking fab as always.
Hi, I'm good. I realize I have a Christmas tree in my office, but it's in front of the window so people outside can see it. I need to move it behind me so that it's in my shop, but I have my disco balls. I'm ready. I'm ready for
I
tonight.
I love. I mean, folks know that we are ridiculous in my house when it comes to decorating, and the fall and Christmas are the highlights of the year for for our house. Because we're goofy and ridiculous, but you know me, I always have to find joy in things. And so the leg lamp, a lot of people always look forward to this every year. And who doesn't love a Christmas story? Who
Yeah.
doesn't love a good leg lamp? And the whole like decorating my set things all started in 2020 because of COVID. So we all of us TV folks didn't go in studio anymore. We did everything remote. They started the whole rate my Skype room thing. So people wanted to get a 10 out of 10. So in 2020, give me a good contest. Yeah. Oh, there's a contest. There's a okay. So I was on the mission to get a 10 out of 10. And when I found the leg lamp in Bed Bath& and Beyond
No way.
of
No
all
way.
places, and it was on sale. So I got it for like, I don't know, 50 bucks or something. It was like a clearance item in Bed Bath& and Beyond, and I was like, "What?" So I could not wait to
Bring
debut
it up.
this. Yeah, oh, are you kidding? I was like, "I'm gonna get me that 10." And sure enough,
I love
I
it. That reminds me. Do you remember a couple of months ago, Bed Bath& Beyond tried to have a moment on the back of Gavin Newsom? They were like,
yes.
"We're not going to California," and we were like, "Bitch, I didn't think you were anywhere."
Right, I was like, "Didn't you go out of
You
business?"
post.
Right, I was like, "Didn't you out of business? You're online." I think they were taken over by, Overstock. I think they merged, like, Overstock came in, I don't know, but this was a few years
Free.
ago when they were still a store, and, I struck gold with it, and then so it started from there. I said, "Screw that, I'm putting the freaking leg lamp in on my set," and it became a thing. So it's an annual event when I pull the leg lamp out and dust it off and decorate my set for the holidays, and, Griswold, we do all of it.
Yeah.
Elf, all of Christmas Vacation.
You're making me
Um,
look here. I haven't put this ornament up on the tree yet, so I give everybody a taste. I'm like, you're making me feel so unfestive over here, Tara.
yes.
Um,
No, no,
this tree that's in my office is actually the tree that holds. So every year, my mom started giving me. Hi, mom. My mom started giving me the annual Swarovski
oh,
crystal.
that's
And the
fab.
first year, I was young. I was in my early 20s, and she gave it to me. And these were like 80, $90. And I remember thinking the first year, I was like, Mom, why did you buy me a $90 ornament? And then she started doing it every year. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be like old and gray one day. And I'm going to have a tree full of Swarovski crystals. So
Yes.
I think I've got
I love that.
all 13 now, which is really nice. So the tree that's in the office away from the children is the one that has the Swarovski crystals.
Yes. You have to put it up high. Like I put, things up high away from the kitty because there's
The
certain things
snowflake
that,
tree is in here. But
yes.
several people in the chat have asked how the baby is, and he is doing good. He was just sitting here with me pulling clips, but I didn't keep him in the event that he decided to go a little haywire over the
Oh,
course of this.
yes, I get the privilege of seeing Park multiple days a week whenever we're on meetings because he's an honorary member of the Seneca Project now, and it's lovely to see his little chubby cheeks. He's so cute.
They're getting
So
there. They're getting there, but he's doing good. Thank you all for asking.
yes. Well, guys, we have to actually, as much as we'd love to talk Christmas, the whole
Christmas and
show.
babies.
I know, Christmas and babies, because that's way more enjoyable than the crazy that's going on in the news, but we are here to inform. So, next week's show is gonna be the last show of the year, and next week's show is definitely going to be a lot lighter, no matter what's happening. We'll talk a little news, but next week will be the end of the year Christmas show, and, we'll do all the Christmas things there, and I'll show off the Christmas decorations of our house. We do that every year too, and we'll talk more Christmassy things next week just to end the year. But there's some breaking news today, Mal. There's some things for us to talk about. Right before we came on the show, I found out two big news stories actually, and these are wins. These are wins for us. We like these kinds of breaking news stories. Uh,
We actually, as far as the lineups go for the stakes, we've got a lot of wins tonight.
yes, actually,
Actually,
you're right.
the show is relatively positive.
It's true. You're actually right. We have not had a string of positive news stories for us in quite some time. So, yes, that's actually a good thing. We like this. Um, well, Tish James, which is why my Chiron is fierce, fearless, and free today, because I designed a t-shirt that's inspired by her and the Epstein survivors. Tish James was once again not indicted. A grand jury in Alexandria, Virginia, looked at the case again and said, no. And what's so extraordinary about this is we all know the expression that a federal grand jury can, a federal prosecutor can indict a ham sandwich, because usually when a prosecutor goes before a grand jury, they have a pretty decent case. So they're like, okay, it's very easy to get indicted. The rest of it, because usually federal prosecutors don't bring cases unless they know it's pretty solid. Well, of course, not this joke of a Department of Justice. And we all know these are weaponized indictments. So this is the third time now that the Trump administration has tried to bring an indictment against Letitia James. The first one, well, that got thrown out because Lindsay Halligan wasn't legally appointed. And so, yes, the grand jury indicted her, but it was nonsense. Like, that was just ridiculous, but it got thrown out. Then last week, we were happy to report that her indictment got thrown out in Newport News down there in Virginia. And they said, yeah, no, we're not doing it. Well, today, for the third time, again in Alexandria, they said, no, no, no. Is that going to stop the DOJ? Probably not. Like I said last week, they can try and do this as many times as they want. They're making themselves look like jackasses, even more so the more that they continue to do this. But there's no shame with these people. But right now, Letitia James, victorious once again in the criminal justice system, no indictment. So there's that.
We love to see it. But also, I mean, this just goes back again and again and again to the only reason that Donald Trump wanted to be president again was to go after his political enemies, the people he feels, have wronged him in some capacity. And we've seen it time and time again. I'm just glad to know that this particular time, it's not working in his favor.
No, it's there. He ran for two big reasons: the retribution tour, which he is on, and to stay out of jail. Okay. Like, it was to get rid of all of his own prosecutions. And then, let's see how I can enrich myself and my family and my buddies as well. Those are the main reasons. It has nothing to do with serving the American people or trying to make our lives better or, standing up democracy around the world and making sure America is the leader of the free world. That has nothing to do with that. Okay. No, it's to do dumb shit like this. And the crazy thing is that despite the fact that they got their asses handed to them by virtually all the federal judges who have looked at these cases, the Lindsay Halligan part of this, he's so hell-bent on trying to get her back into this position legally that they're actually going to put her before the Senate for confirmation.
I mean,
good luck with that.
So they might not need it. You never know at this point. Like,
listen, I think that Lindsay Halligan is going to get the same treatment as a couple of these other people that Trump had to withdraw their nominations because they were so incompetent that the senators are like, yeah, we're not doing that. Alina Habba, another win this week. Alina Habba got sent packing in New Jersey.
Mm.
because for similar reasons. Like they tried to circumvent the Senate confirmation hearings because they knew that these people would never get confirmed by the Senate. And so they tried to circumvent it and they got shot down. It's not legal. Well, she finally gave up and was sent packing. I mean, she wrote this crazy whole thing about how, how she's the victim here. Get the fuck out of here. But she's out of there. Now the same thing, like Lindsay Halligan's fate is similar, but the reports are they're going to try and put her before the Senate. Listen, the senators and Republicans, some Republicans are starting to stand up, which is the next story,
Yeah.
about what happened in Indiana today.
Mhm.
So Indiana was another state that has a super majority of Republicans that Trump's people were targeting for redistricting. They were like, you need to do this. Well, they were strong arming Indiana. And there were a lot of state senators there and delegates that were like, we don't like this. We
Mhm.
don't like what's happening here. And then Trump said the R word and that whole thing, what he attacked Tim Walz on.
Mhm.
And there was one of the state reps there in Indiana has a special needs child and was really upset about that. And this is the Midwest. Okay. Midwest people are nice. They don't like this.
That's nice.
That's right. They don't like these kind of tactics. So today that was the before, right? You had two little blue dots there in Indiana. The after has basically no Democratic districts in Indiana. However,
Not basically, it
yeah,
has no
right.
Democratic
True. True.
districts.
See, I said basically because there were some other maps, not Indiana, where the way they were redrawing them because of the climate now made it possible, even though they drew the blue districts out, but they were more competitive than they should have been, which is partially why Indiana is like, you know what? We don't like this. You're playing games. Now you're creating districts that could potentially be more competitive than they were before because of the climate. We're not doing this. Like, we're not doing this. And they really said, we're not doing this. 21 Republicans voted against this. They voted with the Democrats. It was not even close. It was a landslide, definitive, fuck off. We're not doing it.
Well, and when you think about what that really says in this political climate, I think it's extremely telling of where things are headed with the party. I mean, between Marjorie Taylor Greene and senators in Indiana, folks are starting to go, all right, enough is enough. And slowly but surely, little by little, growing some balls.
Yes. What do I say, Mal? What I always say about that, their balls are finally dropping.
Yeah, I
And
mean, it's about time for folks. I mean, it's a decade late, obviously, and there's a tremendous amount of destruction that's been done, right? A lot that we will spend decades undoing because of Donald Trump and the people around him. But yeah, I mean, I will say at least, which is a phrase I really hate, but at least people are starting to reject him now, and I don't know, maybe it's because they're seeing the writing on the wall. He's falling asleep in the Oval Office, so they're like,
right.
maybe if I'm gonna jump ship, now's an okay time to do it.
Right. I'm telling you, the Marjorie Taylor Greene spat, I think, combined with the Epstein stuff and combined with the economic numbers, which we're going to talk about in a minute because that's what our new video is about. They're looking at protecting their own asses. That's what it's always about. They're looking at the midterms. They're looking at Trump as a lame duck and actually showing weakness. And the way he's behaving this time is somewhat different. Yes, he's erratic. Yes, he's doing crazy shit. Yes, he's, being Donald Trump, but it's different this time around because before in the first term, they thought, okay, he's acting crazy. He's breaking all these norms, but there is enough people around him to get what we want politically and for calmer heads to prevail when it comes to certain just things that we need done politically. There's none of that now because Trump doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's not going to run for re-election again. He doesn't need these people for anything. He's doing whatever the hell he wants with the government. He's got the Supreme Court pretty much in his back pocket for most things so far.
Yeah,
so he doesn't care. So the people who actually have to stay in office and get re-elected, they do care. So they're like, do we want to attach ourselves to the guy that's got a 36% approval rating on the economy, who basically is protecting pedophiles and making excuses? Well, yes, that's true overall. Yeah, and he's underwater and
all
everything.
the candidates that he's endorsed in this cycle have gotten beat. So
Mhm.
everyone's like, "No, wait a minute." Yeah,
Right, right.
sorry.
They're looking at protecting their own positions of power and their own they're looking at their own electability. That's why you're seeing all of this infighting, and you're seeing when that's why Marjorie Taylor Greene felt that she could step out and challenge Trump because she's got her pulse on the base more
Mhm.
so than Trump. And she's making the case, which is crazy to watch, and I'm here for it. But she's making the case that she's more MAGA than him, but she won't use that term because remember on Sunday, if you guys didn't see, she was on 60 Minutes. She's getting the full political star treatment right now. Everyone's so fascinated by the Marjorie Taylor Greene change
Turn
of heart
around.
and all this, right? And I'm like, listen, we're not falling for it. We've talked about this already. She's never invited to the barbecue, but we will take her for as a political kind of pawn in this game here and use what she's doing against MAGA. Let them fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let her be the fracture and let them
Yes,
fall apart. Yeah.
it really is. She is the crack here that has really started to we're starting to see it. And you saw Nancy Mace this week. Oh, the point about her being more MAGA than Trump that I was starting to make is that she would not say the words MAGA. She wouldn't say it. Leslie Stahl asked her, and she was like, "I'm America first." She kept saying, "Oh, I'm America first." Mark that, folks. Mark the calendar, the date today, where I am predicting that she is running on the
Mhm.
America First ticket
Yep.
in 2028. She is
Yep.
laying the foundation. This is going to cleave off a part of the MAGA movement that is not happy with Trump, but they didn't really have an alternative. She's going to give them that alternative. The people who she's aligning with, they are going to be the conscience from within MAGA calling out Donald Trump for not being honest and being one of them. He's not MAGA enough. He's not America first. He's running around the world doing deals with other countries and sovereign wealth funds. And wait a minute, you were supposed to be the champion of the little guy, but you're over here throwing Gatsby parties and people's health care is going through the roof and all that. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene made these points.
Mhm.
America first, but wait, you're sending a carrier group to the Caribbean to start a war with Venezuela over drugs allegedly. What?
Well,
Wait, what are you doing? She'd been sounding this alarm actually since the spring because I was going back through some of our videos and we did a whole thing. I totally forgot about this, of course, because we're the only group that was active at that point in the beginning of the year. Nobody else was putting any kind of content out because Democrats were still in the crouch position. We put a whole thing about her going after him over the America First stuff when they bombed Iran.
Mhm.
Remember that?
Mhm.
That felt like 5 years ago, by the way. That was only like 7 months ago, people. We
Yeah.
bombed Iran this year. So that she is giving a signal to others. Of course, let it be a woman to be the brave one. But listen, I'm standing up to him. Yes, he called me a traitor and I'm leaving Congress, but I've got bigger plans. Nancy Mace wrote a whole thing and she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So
Cocoa
again, like
Puffs.
cuckoo, okay? But another one
And
who's
apparently pregnant? Question
what?
mark.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Is she
Hold
married yet? I
hold
remember.
on, just keep going and I'll find it.
Oh my God. Okay. Like Nancy Mace is all over the place. She's a hot mess. A hot mess. But she also wrote a whole op-ed in the New York Times because she wasn't going to let Marjorie Taylor Greene get all the shine. So she jumped in and basically said that Nancy Pelosi was the greatest speaker and way better than Mike Johnson. And so there's this little revolt going on inside the House of Representatives because Mike Johnson, I mean, Nancy Mace is right. I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day. She's actually right about this. It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're right. They're right. So this is all like we haven't seen this before. And Trump is not, he can't keep everybody in line. And this stuff with Venezuela and Pete Hegseth, like you've got Republican senators saying we don't like this. You have the Foreign Affairs Committee chair in the House, Mike McCall. He's retiring, but still he's speaking out. Don what's his name? Don Bacon, he's retiring. So, of course, that's why his balls have dropped. He's speaking out. But senators, Senator Wicker and all these others, they're speaking out. They're like, we don't like what's going on here. We see war crimes. We haven't seen this before. We haven't seen it before. And then this week, again, more wins. You have a mayor of Miami, a
Oh,
Democrat for the first time in 30 years.
yes, I
Eileen Higgins, Florida.
yep.
What?
First woman.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, the ladies are doing it. You had the records being set in Virginia and New Jersey with first woman Democrat in New Jersey, first woman ever in
Virginia.
Virginia,
Mhm.
and now you're the first woman Democrat ever in Miami. Now that's significant because South Florida is, with the Cubans and down there, it's pretty Republican. Florida has gone very Republican, but there were other races in Florida too, where I think you had in like near the Villages, somewhere up there in that region, you had like a state senate seat get flipped or something. There was something else that happened in Florida that was significant too. Um, so things are
Yeah.
happening, folks. There
Yeah.
are reasons to feel positive about the direction things are going in as far as chipping away at what MAGA's been doing.
Yeah. Georgia had a state house seat flip.
Maybe it was
State house
Georgia.
seat, yeah, state house seat flip I shouldn't say a little, in a special, same day as Eileen won. And so, yeah, it's just what's really exciting is, in addition to working for Seneca, that I work for a couple of candidates behind the scenes.
Mhm.
And so just being able to work for red state Democrats and see that, the people who choose to run in red states where they feel that it's a total uphill battle, that takes a special kind of person in and of itself. Not to toot my own horn, but it really does. Like, you just got to have a certain amount of thick skin. Like,
Mhm.
it's hard, and it's going to be hard going in.
Yep.
So to see these candidates behind the scenes feel that flicker of like genuine hope
Yep.
that it's not out of reach, that 2026 could be the year that we see sweeping change. I think it's just really exciting to see some of these places that are deep, deep red. The
Yes.
folks' moral compass is coming to light, and if not that, then they're just staying home, which is all right with me too.
Right. I mean, it always, and whenever we talk about that, even though it's a campaign tactic, it still feels counterintuitive because as democracy defenders, you want to encourage people to get out and vote. You want as many people to vote legally as possible. But there is certain value when you're in a political dogfight to protecting people and that, on the other side, making them not wanna vote for their guy. Now, not engaging in tactics that are underhanded, where you're, like, sending out which they tried to do in Tennessee 7, sending out
Yeah, they sent out the wrong date.
dates. That's, like, so old school, but they still do it. They still do it. I'm not talking about things like that, but, if you point out certain things about the other guy and their people don't like it, and they're like, "Well, screw it. I'm never voting for a Democrat, but I'm also not voting for you." We'll take that. That's basically a vote for our side. So, just part of kind of how the sausage is made, but yeah, again, the momentum, even though Afton Bain lost last week, she narrowed that gap to only 9 points from 22 in Tennessee. That is a moral victory. It is encouraging for people to hear, and you know what? She was too liberal for that district. She was a super progressive, and the fact that even as progressive as she was, to cut it from 22 to 9, uh, that's a winnable district if you put up a different type of so
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I mean, you and I agree that there were some definite missteps
yes.
with her commentary and in her
Yeah,
campaign. And on the one hand, I've said this many times, we shouldn't hold people to a different standard than we hold the president. So
correct.
on the one hand, however, I do think that those of us who fall on this side of the moral compass typically try really hard to stick to policy. Like, let's do the right thing. So I think even given the media missteps that she had,
Mhm.
performing to that degree was really exciting to see, and it kind of makes you wonder, if a couple of people on our side didn't stay home because of her media missteps, and
Right.
how different could it have looked? It wouldn't have been much, but how different could it have looked had that not been the case?
Yes, it's true, but again, it's all moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
She didn't lose ground, she gained ground, and so there are lessons to be learned, and people should be encouraged, especially in the South. That's why, we've been partnering with Engage All, Gabe Alamont and her crew down there, they did really great work in that district. Hold the Line, Marcus Flowers, they're down there in Georgia. We partner with them, and going into 2026, at Seneca, we are working very hard to scale up. We're getting requests from candidates and folks in some of these districts. They want us to help get involved, and we're gearing up to do that. It's all, of course, it all depends on support and funding, but 2026, we are going to be very, very, very active in these swing districts to help flip this house, because that's where it starts. So lots to look forward to there. Now, who else is worried about 2026 is the White House.
Yeah.
Like we were just saying, the numbers for Trump are awful.
Yeah,
They
not
are in the tank, and he hasn't seen numbers this low in a long time. Oh, I just saw someone say Marcus Flowers for MTG seat. Marcus is not going to run this time. A lot of people have asked, and he is not going to run for anything this cycle. Not to say he won't run for something in the future, but just not this cycle. He's really going to focus on winning, helping with his PAC and other ways to get the House back into Democratic hands, and then we'll see. So
yeah, I mean,
so,
what is it like? We need 3 seats to win back the House.
Something like that at this point. It because there's so many vacancies and so many people retiring, which is another thing, right? That's coming out of this. Republicans see the writing on the wall. They don't want to. They're like, fuck that. We're going to retire. You're seeing people retiring left and right. Reports are there might be 20 more retirements coming.
Yeah. I saw a graphic that said like the retirement watch list, and it was long to include Mike Rogers that I ran against in Alabama's 3rd district, which by the way was only I don't know what it is now because I don't live there anymore, but it was only a plus 12. I shouldn't say only, but it was a plus 12 district in 2018. Like that. Now that we're looking at what we're looking at right now, that's not an impossible task.
Nope.
Not an impossible.
Nope.
Not even by a long shot. But
listen, you would have won that district if by Afton Bain standards.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I was reading that the average swing in a congressional midterm for the party that's in power is 26 seats. And that spikes up to 38 seats when you've got a president that sits under a 50% approval rating. And as you just mentioned, Trump just hit 36. And that's only second to his first time at 34 after January 6th.
Right. He's setting all the wrong records. But he thinks he's the greatest.
I was gonna say he'll probably be like, I'm the best at being the worst.
Oh, he's the best. There's no such thing as the worst, Mal. He's the best and the greatest all the time. Just a quick aside, I was listening because I was fixing some of our Christmas decorations outside because it's been really windy. So all of our decorations got knocked over and blown to hell all over. So I needed to get outside because we'd been working for several hours today to fix the edit, to get the edit done and get our video done for tonight. And so I was like, I need to go outside and breathe some air. It's cold as hell, but I didn't care. I was like, I got to go outside and fix the decorations because I don't like when they get blown all around. So I was listening to the news and I heard that Trump is trying to put himself on a national park pass for federal, so on federal holidays, you get free access to national parks.
His states?
Yes. And normally what happens is, okay, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, this fucking guy, man. Normally what happens is that, yeah, I know. Well, it's my jersey coming out. Normally what happens is they have George Washington or Lincoln, and they do a photo contest of some kind of beautiful national park that someone takes, and they have this contest and they include some lovely, wonderful photograph that a citizen took on the pamphlets or on the passes to get into the national parks. Well, this coming year in 26, because it's the 250th celebration, Trump is trying to put his freaking face everywhere. It's already hanging up North Korea style in banners, huge banners on buildings here in Washington, on the Department of Labor, the FDA. It's insane. And so they were talking about this today, and the Park Service is kind of or whatever, whoever does this is yeah, we don't really want to do that. This is supposed to be reserved.
Are they the ones that had a rogue Twitter account?
I think so.
Services that had the rogue Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, they're not happy about this, and so he's trying to mint a coin with his freaking face on it. He's just trying to. You saw that they also got rid of Martin Luther King Day and Juneteenth as federal holidays where you can enter free passes. Yeah, there it is, right there, Deidre. Good, like minds right there. It's just ridiculous, but But anyway, so you have all these people going into 2026 saying like, yeah, we're retiring. We don't want to have to defend this craziness. And so Trump now with all those poll numbers, especially on the affordability issue,
Mhm.
the White House is like, you got to get your fat ass out there back on the trail. Okay. Get the makeup going. Let's like maybe tone it down a little because you were looking a little weird shit orange the other day. We're going to fix that. Get you back out on the trail. You're going to go to a swing district in Pennsylvania because we all know that Pennsylvania has a bunch of these swing districts. It's going to be very important in 26. So they send him out there to the Poconos and to the former Mount Airy Lodge. Now, for folks in the chat, if you are from the tri state area, do you remember in the 80s, beautiful Mount Airy Lodge? They used to have this commercial that would run all the time promoting the Poconos. I can remember growing up with this, but the Poconos have suffered. They took a terrible turn. They're not as successful as they used to be. There's suffering economically up there in that area. So of course that's where he picked. So it's like one of the I guess the Mount Airy Lodge or whatever it's renamed now. He sounded like he needed a pudding cup after that rally. Oh my gosh. That rally was horrible. It was supposed to be about affordability. It's supposed to be trying to gaslight the American people that everything's actually fine. What you feel at the grocery store, the prices you're paying, all of that. No, 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 no. That's not
Don't
happening.
believe your eyes and ears.
No, or your wallets. Okay. No, no, no. It's not really, you're not really experiencing that. And Trump is going to tell you, well, that rally was off the chain. He was like losing it. Of course, he went off script because that's what he does. It only had a couple hundred people in the room. Did you see like the shot of the room? It wasn't one of those big, huge rallies. It was in like a conference room
Well,
with a couple
they're
hundred people.
probably having to be pretty protective of who he sees and interacts with if he's having to take cognitive tests and get MRIs, you know?
Oh, but Mallory, he is perfectly fine. Did you not see the tweet that he put out after the rally on Tuesday night? That was like this long. It was like 1,000 words. I don't know. It was nuts. Where
No,
he was
but
trying to convince everyone he's sane and he's perfectly fine.
which is something that people who are sane and perfectly fine absolutely do. No, he is. It took him 13 minutes. I don't know if my computer keeps glitching. It took him 13 minutes to actually address the American people in any capacity. Yeah, the man has never been well. Let's be honest. But things are rapidly declining, and I find that to be really interesting. And we have some of that. We have some of that rally in our new video.
Yes, let's for those of you who actually have real lives and don't watch these Trump rallies on the news at 8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, unlike us, because we're here to do it so you don't have to. Here's a couple clips. Here's something from it. Good God.
Well, this is our new vid. Do you want to?
Oh, it's the video. Oh, it's
Yeah.
that. Oh, okay.
They're in there.
I thought it was a clip from the rally. So I apologize. All right, let me set this up then better. So Trump went off on affordability, calling it a hoax again, telling everyone that it's not a real thing. It's a Democratic con job. And he's been saying this now for a couple of weeks, much to the chagrin of his staff. That is not what they wanted him to do. But he cannot bring himself to admit that people are actually suffering because he promised everyone that he was going to fix it all on day one. He got elected promising people he was going to lower the price of eggs and groceries and all of these things on day one, that he was going to wipe inflation out. There wouldn't be any inflation. Just so that you know, inflation was 3%, down from over 9% during Biden, which was because of the way Trump mishandled COVID, that was one of the lagging indicators that inflation shot up through the roof. And then from over 9% down to 2.4% under Biden in October of 2024, it crept back up to 3% in January, and it's basically stayed there. It is still at 3%. It was 3% when he took over. It's 3% today. And so what's happening is because of Trump's tariffs and him fucking with the economy. It is his self-inflicted nonsense that has created this hardship for the American people that's only going to get worse because healthcare is about to skyrocket for people because Republicans refuse to pass anything that keeps the Obamacare subsidies. So all of this toxic stew of Trump's making is creating a political nightmare for him that he cannot admit to. Cannot. So what has he done? He's telling everyone it's a hoax and gotten very angry about it. Well, folks, it's not a con job. You know what's a con job? Donald Trump. Donald Trump being the affordability president. No, no, no. That's the con job. Don, the affordability con, is what we have named our latest Seneca Project video that we are debuting for you lovely folks right now. Take a look.
Affordability. It doesn't mean anything to.
Uh-oh. Sorry.
There it is.
Here it is.
But I do want to talk about the economy, sir. I wonder what grade you would give
A
your
plus.
economy. A plus.
Yeah, A plus, 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 plus. Word affordability is a con job. Affordability. 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 It doesn't mean anything to anybody.
We're still struggling, even when we have our money coming through. We had to suffer going almost a week with no food.
Don't be dramatic.
And I have no higher priority than making America affordable again.
I brought these along so people could see, but nobody's actually seen anything quite like it. I think it'll be one of the great ballrooms anywhere in the world. It's about $300 million.
At this moment in time, of course, the ballroom is really the president's main priority.
These pictures have been in newspapers. They've been all over the place, and, you know, we're very proud of it. It's gotten great reviews. The reason I don't want to talk about affordability is because everybody knows that it's far less expensive under Trump than it was under Sleepy Joe Biden. You can give up certain products. You can give up pencils. They only need one or two, you know. They don't need that many. Maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know. We have potentially the greatest economic boom in the history of the world.
Groceries are off the charts.
I went on groceries.
Can't afford the cost of food,
It's a very simple word, groceries.
using credit cards for everyday expenses.
When they use the word affordability, they never say anything else.
No money left after their bills are paid. Pretty much just a whole bunch of financial mess.
It's a con job.
Jones is a three-time Trump voter, but she says he has simply failed to keep his promise to lower the cost of living.
I feel like it's only gotten worse.
I think the only way we're going to do better is if he gets out and somebody else gets in.
I mean,
For itself.
speaks for itself. Speaks for itself.
I like this one a lot. I hope if you liked it as you're watching, go share it. It's on all of our platforms right now. So a quick share helps us, and probably gets under his skin a little bit, which is always nice.
Yes.
But I think, Tara, what would be so fun is for people to better understand how we come about the videos that we make and what that process looks like.
So usually what happens is we see what's happening in the news, we see what's trending. We know, since we've been doing this for a long time, we know what bothers Donald Trump. He hates being mocked. He's obviously flipping out over the fact that all the sleepy Joe's comparisons are being made because he keeps falling asleep in meetings. I can't remember that many, or if any, of Joe Biden sleeping during cabinet meetings or at state events or anything like that, but yet Donald Trump has been falling asleep quite often, can't keep his eyes open, and he hates that stuff. So we're looking at, okay, how can we highlight what's happening to inform people, because they lie so much. Trump, it lies, and his people are such liars. They're propagandists, and the mainstream media oftentimes does not
Push back.
Right? They don't push back, and that's what we're here to
They
do.
don't challenge responses.
That's right. And so that's what we're here to do. So we have our weekly meetings, and we talk about, okay, what's going on, and then I'm like, you know what? We should do a video about this. And so we do different things. We do rapid responses, which is what this is. We do the ads that we place in like Cheater or Big Beautiful Betrayal, or the Defending the Brave. It's the ad that we did and placed in Tennessee 7. And then we also do like the big hero ads, like I call them, the narrative ads. That was like American Girl, or like the Epstein one that we just did, America is Watching. Which do you have loaded, by the way?
America is Watching.
Maybe not. Sometimes we have things that are loaded from each show. But if folks, anything you want to see that Seneca Project has
I'll load
done,
it by the end.
yeah, anything. I mean, we may or may not get to it, but we should watch. We should show it. we all have everything on our Seneca Project channel. It's all on our YouTube channel, and it's all broken down into categories. So you can see all the live shows, like, so all of our stakes episodes, they're uploaded there, they're live, and that's where they live. We also upload them as podcasts. Mallory does that, so you can listen to it at any time. We have our rapid response section. We have the Seneca in the news. So when I do hits on MSNBC or CNN or whatever, it goes there. If you didn't see it live, you can see that all there. We do some shorts when we do clips of things. So everything is listed on our Seneca Project channel. So if you're probably watching it on YouTube now, there, make sure you like and subscribe, because that helps the algorithm, by the way. So if you haven't, please do that. So that's where you can find all of that. So yeah, and then we work with our editors. We have different sets of editors that have different areas of skills that are areas of expertise. So yeah, we've been working with some new editors this half of the year, and we're very excited about those new relationships as we bring them into 2026. So that's kind of how it goes. And today, Mallory and I we had to pick music. We have to go look at the clips, and the editors are very patient, especially with me. I'm a Virgo. So I'm like,
Virgo rising. We're not that different.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, so, I'm like, put that there, move that there. Like, let's get this there, So it's, but it's not easy. Much respect to people who edit.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I also just think, those of you who are here watching, even though I'm not always on screen with all of you, often, not always, but often I'm behind the scenes watching your comments come through. So I know there are a lot of you here who are here all the time, who are here weekly. And I just think it's so interesting to see how sort of the sausage is made, as Tara said. And thinking about when we're thinking about how to share content and how to reach people and how to message better or differently than someone else. I just wish you all could be a fly on the wall of our chats. It's like a video gets thrown in and we have a conversation about what we could do around that topic and how to share it with people. And so you all being here in community with us at the Seneca Project helps us, share with the American people why this administration and the people who have uplifted and supported it are bad, right? And like why we have to work in 2026. So today was just as we were getting ready for the stakes, I was like, we should tell people, how much goes into making these. It's finding all these clips across the internet and downloading them and then figuring out the time codes and every single visual that you see has been carefully thought out and curated and debated over and over again. What about this visual? What about this visual?
Right. So, what about that quote? Well, maybe he says it better here. Or like, let's make sure we get the thing about the pencils in. And
So I don't know. I just kind of felt like as the third wheel of Seneca coming in, that many of you who are here, who give your dollars and your energy towards Seneca Project, just know that it's going towards a good place and we need more of it for 2026.
Yes.
There are very, very, very few, if any, organizations doing what we'll be doing in this election cycle. And it's going to be important.
Amen to that. It's very true. And you know where your money is being spent and how, and we are hands-on with everything. We are a very, very small operation that we would like to scale up so we can do more. If you like what you see and you like what we're doing, we would love to do more because there's only one of each of us. Yeah. Unlike my husband, who is a triplet, there are three of him. There is only one of us.
Only one of us.
So many hours in the day.
And what's crazy is like there are so many exciting candidates to get ready for in 2026. There are so many people who are running, who are giving us hope. I know you all have someone that just popped in your mind. I certainly have someone who popped in my mind.
Yes.
I mentioned I'm working for a couple of people who are running. So there are people to be excited about. Who are you excited about, Tara?
Well, some people may have heard of a congresswoman from the state of Texas who has decided to jump into the race. Her name is Crockett.
Crockett.
Donald Trump's favorite congresswoman, that low IQ Crockett. Why does he say her name like this? He's so obsessed with her. It's like you're a little kid and you secretly like her, so you pick on her and stuff like that. Like he's weirdly obsessed with Jasmine. And she'd reached out to me about a week and a half ago and said, think we're going to do this. And she was reading some of the numbers off to me and was explaining to me why she has a legitimate shot at winning. And I was like, wow. I said, listen, whatever you need. So we were looking forward to helping to support Jasmine's efforts. Now that she's officially a candidate, we cannot directly coordinate because we are a PAC. And so we can't have direct coordination with the actual campaign. But PACs and other PACs that support her, we can work with each other. And so you can best believe that Seneca Project will have a presence in the Texas Senate race in 2026.
If you want to,
you got to get her through the primary
work. I was like, if you want to support some of the dirty work,
yes,
come on over here.
Come on over here, because there's no limits. There's no limits on what PACs can do. When you're on the candidate side, there's only a certain amount of money as individuals that you can give to the campaign. It's a whole different thing. But PACs have a lot more freedom. There's no limit. It's reported, but there's no limit. And we don't, so that's why a lot of and we can do things that they can't. So
Yep.
Yeah, looking forward to that race.
We can say things that they can't. But speaking of people who said things, Mike Johnson was so condescending, and
what a shock.
I don't have the vocabulary word for how his reaction to her running made me feel. But luckily, as someone just said here in the chat, she is always prepared and a rapid responder. So we have a video of
Pepper.
Pepper is desperate to get out of the office. I'm going to let her out in a second.
Oh, let her out. Well, you can let her out when you show the.
Yeah, I'll pop up when I'm sorry. So we have this video. This clip is about 2 minutes, but it's worth all 2 minutes. It's Jasmine responding to Mike Johnson. Here you go.
He's so creepy.
About the state of the Democratic Party. I mean, do you feel worried about her chances of winning at all?
Absolutely delighted that Jasmine Crockett is running for Senate in Texas. It's one of the greatest things that's happened to the Republican Party in a long, long time. She is the face of the Democratic Party. She and Mamdani. Good luck with that. I want her to have the largest, loudest microphone that she can every single day. And we look forward to having that election down there. We are going to elect another Republican senator in Texas. Texas is a red state. People of Texas are common sense Americans, and what Jasmine is trying to sell will not be purchased by the folks of Texas.
Why do
I must say that they act as if they're scared, regardless of what it is that they say. I will agree with him on something, though. Texans are common sense, and Texans, frankly, have not had a reason to be excited. It's been the same old for a very long time. The speaker also mentioned Mamdani. He invoked Mamdani's name. Last time I checked, he got elected. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know where he was going. But again, okay, if it means I'm getting elected, I mean, what are we doing right now, right? Like, he's like, oh, another Mamdani. I'm like, I'm sorry. He became the mayor over the president's choice. I mean, I'm good with becoming the senator, and frankly, Texans will be better if I become the senator. And this idea of, you gotta sound like a Republican to win, it's clear that there were people that voted for Trump that also voted for Mamdani. It is clear that there are people that voted for AOC that also voted for Trump. It is clear that there were people that voted for Obama and then went and voted for Trump. And when you look at their policies, they're diametrically opposed. So what that tells me is that there's something different that people are looking for. And I think the fact that I am a different candidate, unlike anyone who's ever run in Texas, and I promise you, Texas, y'all about to see a race you've never seen before, because doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is just the definition of insanity.
And she's 100% right. They're going to come for her. They've already tried. They've already started. And she knows, but she's built differently, and she's going to be a formidable opponent. There's virtually nothing that they can throw at her that she hasn't already heard or experienced. I mean, all kinds of things come out when you run a Senate race. I mean, the oppo is going to be crazy, but she is a fighter. And I don't always agree with everything she says and does, but it doesn't freaking matter. She is no nonsense. She's a legit candidate. She'd be 10 times better as a senator. There's only been 3 Black women senators in the history of this country, and 2 of them were elected, or 4 4 actually. And you have 2 of them in the Senate now, which is, I mean, it's only in recent history. And so she is coming for them. And that's the energy that the Democrats say that they want. And that's what they need.
I would love for you to respond to this, Tara.
I hate to burst your bubble, but Crockett is a milquetoast centrist lib. We need okay. Okay, first of all, the fact that you would think that
when I heard this, first of all.
Yeah. First of all, there is nothing milquetoast about Jasmine Crockett. Like, if that's there are many terms you could use. Milquetoast sure as hell ain't one of them. Okay. There's nothing vanilla, boring, average, sleepy about Jasmine Crockett. That's number one. Number two, we don't need more Zohrans and Bernies in places like Texas to win statewide. Will never happen. Zohran and Bernie can work for where they are, but they are not.
Let's be very clear. Zohran would have never won statewide in New York.
No,
Yeah.
it was New York City is its own animal. And Bernie, that's why Bernie didn't win when he ran for president. He does not have national appeal.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's your cup of tea, but you also have to have the candidates for where you're running. And you know,
I'll just add on to this. As someone who is progressive and a Democrat, it is exhausting. It is exhausting, the litmus test that we give people in our big tent. You know, Republicans are homogenous. It's all one thing. It's all one-liners. You get the same thing no matter where you are. It's all the same thing. And we shouldn't expect people who run under our big tent to all be the country is bigger than college towns. Yes. We shouldn't expect every Democrat to be the same. We shouldn't expect the same level of left, progressive, whichever way you want to go from the center. People need to understand the district or the state that they're running for and in, and they need to speak to those people. They don't need people in California who would say something like, you know, Jasmine Crockett's not left enough for me. Well, you live in California. You don't live in Texas.
Right.
So it, excuse me, but shit or get off the pot. Help her or shut up.
Exactly.
And I feel strongly about that because people from other states and other places, other municipalities with totally different demographics will take to the internet and tear down candidates who are running for where they live, right? And that really bothers me because we have to support them doing the right thing for where they are.
That's exactly right.
She's hot chocolate.
I like that reality check. That is exactly right. But Mallory, you are 100% correct. This like, you know, purity test for Democrats will be the death of the party. You got to stop it. You know, this is infighting over, oh, well, she's, you know, taking money for pro-Israel things. And, oh, you know, she's not an encampment person. I'm like, okay, none of this matters. When you're trying to take out MAGA, you can argue these things later, okay? If you're a single issue person and so you'd much rather have MAGA fascists there because she actually has a different position than you do on Israel. Like, stop it. Cut that shit out. This is not the time for that. You know, it's the 80-20 rule here. You'd rather have 80% of that and, you know, 20% disagreements than have nothing. So stop.
As someone who's chronically online, I said to Tara the other day, they've already started, and whoever they is, whether it's foreign bots or MAGA, I don't know who it is, but they've already started with the conversation around Israel and Jasmine Crockett. And if that is a sticking point for you as a human being, by all means, live your truth. But if you have people that are encouraging other people, and specifically, this is what makes me, specifically
because you've lived this.
You're encouraging people of color to opt out of the system, encouraging people to just not vote because it's all bad. Everyone's bad. All politicians are bad. First of all, that's not true. I know personally so many people who are in public office who genuinely genuinely care about trying to do the right thing, making the world a better place, doing the right thing by their constituents. So the blanket statements like that really bother me. But what bothers me more than anything is people trying to encourage people of color specifically to not vote, to opt out of the system that generations of people fought and died for. So that's my big problem with the purity test. It's like, well, then I'm just not going to vote. I'm like,
no, it's exactly.
You can't complain about or play a game that you're not in.
Amen to that. And that is I think something that people are going to have a real wake up call going into 2026. To your point, which is something my grandmother used to say all the time too, was shit or get off the pot. Like, we don't have the luxury of bitching and complaining about things that are inconsequential at this point. We are up against an existential threat to our democracy. None of the other shit matters if the fascists win. Period. The end. Are you pro-Constitution and rule of law and civil rights for everyone and upholding the Constitution and equally to everyone? Then you know what? We're good to go. If you're on the other side, the other team, where there's no gray area here at this point, then you need to lose, and we need to do everything we can to defeat you. And then we can argue all the policy differences later. Like, good God.
Well, and what's really important, I'm actually uploading this right now because this made me think of the fact that, like, we're not far from not even being able to disagree on whether or not you should support Israel or whoever, right? We're really close to a government that's going to be censoring the words that come out of our mouth. They are putting people on lists, right? This that I'm about to show you, this is on the United States of America White House website. What I'm about to show you, the United States of America White House website. Which means, I just want to lay the ground.
I know what you're putting up. This is so crazy, guys. This is so infuriating.
There are people who work for this administration who sat around in a meeting and drummed up this idea. And then they made a list, or they had people do that. Then they had another meeting. Then they had another meeting. Then they went to their web design developer, whoever. They put this on the internet. I mean, this is not just something that just pops up, right?
No.
I think often people don't even think about that. Talk about waste, fraud, and abuse. How many people sat around a room and made this list of people to go on the White House website? These are the media offenders of the week, by the way. And if you go to this, which I'm happy to put this in the chat. I'm going to put the link so anybody who feels like just taking a gander this evening, if you go to the link, it literally outlines it. This is a rotating page, meaning yesterday this page looked different. Today it's Jake Tapper. Yesterday it was some other news outlet. I don't even remember which one. And they tell you the offense, the truth, what they want you to know. And then on the right-hand side, you can submit a tip. So we are dangerously close to living in a society where we can't even have this show and say that we agree to disagree. So yes, the litmus test.
That's what they want, right? That's exactly what they want. They're heading there. It's literally an enemies list, taxpayer funded, by the way.
I'm surprised you're not on it, to be honest.
I know, yeah, I know. Well, let's don't give them any ideas, Mal. Don't give them any ideas, because then they're gonna cut their little, yes, yeah. I am surprised that I'm not on it, but because I'm not necessarily in the media like that yet. Like, I'm not an official journalist, but when I was a CNN commentator, they may have gotten me. I might have been on that list, but if I ever did make it on that list, I'd wear it with a badge of freaking valor. Let me tell you what.
I just submitted Fox News. Thanks.
Good.
Make sure you call it Fox Entertainment.
Yes. Exactly. Well, there were so many things to talk about. I wanted to also talk about the Kristi Noem thing just really fast before we get into the bright spot. I know we wanted to talk Erica Kirk, but you know what? She's not going to steal our shine. We're on a roll this week of positive things. So she's just but she's not going anywhere, clearly. But I did want to show really fast before we end the show on the bright spot what happened today with Kristi Noem, because this is also someone else who is running afoul of her MAGA supporters as well, because there's rumors this week that she may potentially be on the chopping block. They're not happy now, not on the chopping block for the reasons that we think she should be on the chopping block, but it's more about that she's getting caught spending way too much time and money on her image and not deporting enough people, which is just outrageous. She's a horrendous ghoul of a person. And she was up on Capitol Hill getting grilled today, as she should be, about the deportations and about the Gestapo tactics. And I just want to show some of the questioning because these are not people who were the gang members and the rapists and the murderers that the Trump administration wanted you to believe that that's who they were targeting. They're not. We all know this is completely out of control. They're snatching people off the street. They are violating civil liberties every freaking day, violating due process. And exactly, Thomas. And so, she needs to be held accountable for this. And the more that people speak out and we show things, we did our Red Scare video, which was really powerful. And thank you to everyone who donated for that. We to get that video out to show what's happening. I mean, it is disgraceful what's happening. We are living in a freaking authoritarian society here. And she was made to answer for, are you deporting veterans in this country? Take a look at this questioning.
Secretary Kristi Noem was in front of the House Homeland Security Committee today testifying on worldwide threats. But for many lawmakers, the threat was her, as they demanded answers from the DHS secretary on a wide range of her agency's actions, including the decisions behind who to detain and deport.
Madam Secretary, how many United States military veterans have you deported?
Sir, we have not deported U.S. citizens or military veterans.
He is a combat veteran, a Purple Heart recipient. He has sacrificed more for this country than most people ever have. Earlier this year, you deported him to Korea, a country he hasn't lived in since he was 7 years old. The man behind you, please stand up, sir. His name is Jim Brown from Troy, Missouri. He is a Navy combat veteran who served our country in the Gulf War. He's married to a woman named Donna, who came to our country legally from Ireland when she was 11 years old. She has lived here for 48 years. Because of you, Jim's wife, Donna, has been in prison for the last 4 months. She did not come here illegally, and she has never committed any crime other than writing 2 bad checks totaling $80 10 years ago. His father, Narcisco Barranco, is a landscaper in California who has lived peacefully in our country for 30 years and has no criminal record. Last spring, while he was mowing the lawn at an IHOP, ICE agents tackled him in the street and imprisoned him for weeks. A peaceful, hard-working man who raised 3 sons to be United States Marines.
Kudos to that congressman. Okay. I don't know his name, but kudos to him. And the fact that they came prepared. As someone who used to prep members of Congress for committee hearings like this is how you do that. You come with the receipts. You don't let that bitch sit there and obfuscate and try to say, not, spew the talking points. Make her face the people and the families that are suffering at the hands of her overstepped and, her power trips. That was brilliant. And her responses, like she was just like sitting there going, well, we don't deport veterans. Oh, you don't? Here they are. Oh, well, if you're here legally, I just want to reemphasize. Oh, really? There are people here who are legal immigrants that you guys have deported. Like she, and then because she got dragged so badly, she left the hearing early because she was getting her ass handed to her. And more of that, please. That is how you do it. You don't do the self-congratulatory speeches that a lot of members of Congress do and waste your time, or you keep asking the same questions that she's just going to obfuscate and talk around. No, you cut them off, you reclaim your time, and you have the fucking receipts like that. Make them face it. So
I was gonna say, having her face to face with someone. I mean, not that she has a soul or cares. Right. However, that is just so powerful for anyone who's watching, to be able to have somebody standing there. They're not just a picture. they're a human being, flesh and blood, right there in the same room. I think that's super powerful. And I wish that more Congress people had the ability to do that with every topic that they're arguing, right? Like this is a human being whose life has been impacted by the bullshit that you're doing for political points. I just think that, you know, like I said, it's not going to matter to her. She obviously, isn't she the one who killed her dog?
Yes, she's the puppy killer. Yes, she's the puppy executioner.
So with my unofficial psychology degree, she's a sociopath.
Clearly, you have to be a sociopath to do what she's doing. Like literally going around and look with pride as you are literally terrorizing American neighborhoods and communities and watching women getting pulled out of their cars when they pick their kids up from school, or watching, you know, roofers who are building houses being detained and tear gassing American citizens. And then like, I mean, you have to be a sociopath to stand there and do that with pride and not care. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
The other thing, though, that this makes me think of is how so many people who are mouthpieces for MAGA, her included, are usually in front of a camera somewhere where there's no one that they have to face.
Right.
And let this congressman be a lesson to the journalists who don't present MAGA influencers, MAGA mouthpieces, people who are in public office who don't present them with the facts or push it back on them in their face. The entire cabinet are criminals. Yes.
Pretty much.
I find it's like, you know, we're used to seeing them at a podium where there's cameras, but there's not people. And when you start to find footage of them, scenarios like this, where they're put in front of someone that they actually have to answer to, they can't just talk down to or ignore like they do the press, you find that they actually don't know what to say.
That's correct.
They have their talking points that they do in front of cameras, but when they are put face to face with the implications of their actions or their inaction, they don't know how to address those people. They don't know what to say. And so I'd love to see more of that, you know?
Yes. And that's why also we do the content that we do. That's why we say it's important to get this in front of the people who need to see it, because they need to be confronted with it. You know how many people who watch Fox News and are indoctrinated by that all day don't ever see the other side or the truth about things? That's why we do the types of content that we do. It's also to talk to those people. That's why we do the whole Donald Trump Betrays You series, which we will continue to do, because those people need to hear it and see it. And they're starting to wake up to it going, wait a minute, maybe he has, like, wait, like what? And that's important because that, again, it goes to the fracture, and they aren't lockstep anymore. Now they have to worry about, you know, defending their flank from a couple of angles here, because they thought for sure they had all the unity in the world and it was a cult. Well, it still is to some degree, and those people they're lost. But there's a lot of people who are starting to look at it twice.
Well, and I think that actually brings up a good point for us to consider for anybody who's watching, and that is, you know, we have the woman who is in this affordability video. I actually just posted the clip of just her on our socials. I think it was yesterday.
Oh, the woman on CNN, the three-time Trump voter.
The three-time Trump voter. And I think we need to be careful in this moment, especially as we head into the midterms, of not, I see this because working for some of the other people I work for, we've done a lot of farming content here recently, and it blows up of people commenting and saying, well, fuck you, you should have known better, or you shouldn't have voted for them, or they told you who they were. And like, trust me, that is 100% how I feel.
Same.
That's how I feel.
But I know where you're going with this, and it's hard, but you're right.
We need to be a softer landing place instead of saying, how could you have been so stupid this whole time? And again, this is how I feel. I'm going to have to work on this myself.
I think it's on a case.
My personal content is me going, you're all fucking stupid. However, I thought about that as it was just every comment was like, you're stupid. Why'd you do that? He told you who he was.
Yeah.
And yeah, Cynthia just said, how many times do you forgive the same mistake? Listen,
it's hard, especially with the consequences being what they are. But
2026, we need them to see that it's okay. We talk about the permission structure all the time.
It's true.
We need them to see that, like, okay, you finally woke up. You're dusting off the cult.
Yes.
We need you to join us. We need you to get your friends to join us. We need you to have conversations in your hometown, in your living room, with your mom and your dad and your mom and them, all that.
100%. 100%. Listen, I look at it on a case by case basis. If people are truly saying, oh my God, and they are honestly reconsidering and trying to do the right thing moving forward, you have to kind of let the past go. There's another time and place for that conversation. They will, you reap what you sow, and you don't want to wallow in, or relish in someone else's suffering. We have to be careful. What do I always say? We don't want to become what we despise. So there's a very fine line there. Some people, it may be unforgivable, and that's okay too, because it's a lot. But if there is a way, it's just you have to think about it like a cult. You just have to think about it like a cult. Would you welcome your friend, your neighbor, your family member back in after they've realized that they've been taken in a cult?
Yeah. This is a great point to end this thought on. Most know they'll lose their friends, family, and community. If we don't welcome them, we cannot defeat MAGA. And that's so true.
Absolutely.
Recognize that they have to cut ties with some of those folks. They need to know that there's still a community of people who will bring them in. Yeah.
Yes. Excellent point. Well, wait.
Sorry, Tara.
That's okay. Wait a minute. We have to end on our bright spots.
Click happy.
It's okay. It's all right. Great place for us to end the show tonight. We've got a cool bright spot. Did you have a bright spot, Mal?
I do. Just one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll let you go first because mine's a little longer, and we can end on mine. So we'll let you go first.
Perfect. Mine is short and sweet and still, frankly, political. But I live in Alabama, where I'm sure you all can guess our blue dot bright spots are few and far between. And I don't know if you all have heard, but Doug Jones has entered our gubernatorial race, and we are extremely excited about it because our other option is Tommy Tuberville. And I don't know if you've been following anything happening with Tuberville in the Senate, but the man is a class A moron.
Oh my God.
He does actually live in our state. And Doug Jones, even though he won by the hair of his chinny chin chin when he ran against Roy Moore here in Alabama, he was one of the most bipartisan senators. He's a great human being. He's been working ever since then to try and build democratic infrastructure in our state. He is truly a person who walks the walk and talks the talk. And he is one of the hardest working men I've ever known, to be quite honest. So
he's a nice guy.
I'm excited to see him throwing his hat in this race. And if I have to have any, excitement for 2026 here in Alabama, he's somebody worth throwing my time, energy, and money behind, and that feels good. So he's my bright spot for me right now.
Well, yay for that. We like Doug Jones. He also was a lawyer, right? And wasn't he part of some significant civil rights cases and stuff? So he's an all-around good human being. Go Doug Jones in Alabama.
Yeah.
So mine, I've tried to make a point of not bringing politics to the bright spot. So this week's bright spot is something that I came across in a late night Instagram scroll. If you are a member of our Seneca Snapshot, if you are on our email list, you saw this. I posted it yesterday, and I found a good story on a video on it. So to go along with it for the show tonight. But there are these things called repair cafes. Have you heard of these things, Mallory?
I haven't.
I had never heard of them. I'm like, what is a repair cafe? Well, come to find out, this is an international thing. It started in Amsterdam in 2009 with local folks in the community, neighbors, friends getting together that have skills to fix things. And they do voluntary workshops where if you have something you need fixed or repaired, you bring it there, and these folks who have these skill sets will fix and repair it for you. And I was like, this is so cool. And it started as a sustainability effort because, we're so quick as consumers. If it's broken, we throw it away. That's not how it used to be back in the old days, right? I mean, you had to make sure everybody was handy, and they had to, repair the tractor or the sewing machine or whatever it was. And, Yes, New York, actually, the New York Times did a whole story about New York has the most repair cafes out of all the states. And that's out. So I saw this on Instagram first, then I researched it. Then I found out there was a big New York Times story feature done on this about in New York, featuring New York. And then I found out, like I said, the history and the backstory on all this. So it is an international thing. And I think the website, if you want to find a repair cafe near you, it's repaircafes.org, I think is the website to go, or just Google it. But I found a really nice story in Portland, Oregon, where their repair cafe is, that really encompasses the sense of this. So check it out. I'm all about this because I have things that I would like to see repaired. If you have like antique things that people don't necessarily have anymore and you want to bring them, you just never know. What a cool community idea. You never know who's got what skill or who can repair things, and it brings people together, and I love it, and that is my bright spot. So check it out. Here is a repair cafe in Portland, a little snippet of a feature story on what they do. I think it's so cool.
Of the more than 5,000 items saved so far from the landfill, many have been KitchenAids.
So I was making some bread, and then all of a sudden it just started, it was working really hard, and then it would stop running.
For second-time volunteer Dan, it was his first mixer.
And then I was in the middle of looking at YouTube for how to disassemble, and Jim walked by.
Jim Carlisle.
Is there one washer on the shaft there?
Travels 45 miles to the repair cafe from Kaiser.
Okay, yeah.
And mentors other volunteers.
So now we're ready to put it back on there, huh?
It's a feel good.
At 92.
Yeah, I also fix toasters, so.
Jim knows how to fix just about anything.
Anything but a broken heart and a football game. I don't fix football games.
Jim knew which gear would be broken.
He even had the spare part they needed.
I had the part with me.
Like what?
All right, you want to switch it on? Oh my goodness.
To give this mixer,
looks pretty good,
another spin in life.
Thank you. It's just incredible. Yeah.
Not everything at the repair cafe plugs in.
I brought in a handmade quilt that's about 40 years old and is coming apart in some places.
I love hand sewing.
At the repair cafe, a stitch in time saves more than 9.
This is gorgeous. This is completely up my alley.
Seamstress Erica saves a treasured heirloom.
And here is something that, I tangibly know, okay, today I did something that made somebody's life a little bit better.
A lot better, yeah.
Okay.
For volunteer Ray Campmeyer,
it feels like one of these two main
a chance to teach his 8-year-old niece Stella, broken doesn't have to mean it's time for the trash.
I thought it's an important part of this whole process to instill in young kids early on that things can be repaired. We should be repairing things.
Back to the not-so-hot hot pot.
Is it warming up?
Jim Harder's been repairing.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely hot. It's hot.
Oh, well, it's always good when we get it to actually work.
Thank you. You can report that it was a great success. A 5-star review.
The repair was simple-ish.
And after some diagnosis, the silenced alarm clock just needed a reset.
And I just needed to press a button. But it was worth it because now I know.
So just take a pliers.
And thanks to volunteer Cheryl.
And do a little squeeze on that side.
Jill and her backpack Pierre.
And
can smile again.
All fixed.
Pierre's happy.
My mom would be proud. Melissa's prized quilt.
Gorgeous.
Looks like new.
I love it.
A mended quilt.
It's like folding sheets, right?
A patchwork of people.
Perfect.
Community.
Oh my gosh.
Stitched together to help save the planet.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
My hope for the future is that we recognize the
I just thought that was awesome.
It is. I was just over here just grinning ear to ear.
Yes. And I see people in the comments are like, oh my God, how cool is this? It restores your faith in humanity. And I am here for it. I agree. So Repair cafes, folks. It's
I
a
love
thing.
that. I think that would, first of all, that would probably like really kill here in Huntsville because we're a town of engineers.
You might have one.
We might. I'll have to
Go to the website.
I did post the website in the chat for everyone.
Oh, good.
If you're interested in that. But the other element of that is, how often are you forced to just sit down across from somebody that you don't really know, but this opportunity to sit down and have something repaired and to repair something in a volunteer space, you're bound to sit and talk and meet with people who are different than you, who look different than you, who are a different age. I love that. That's a secondary benefit, the community element of it all. I love that. What a great one, Tara. I loved it.
Thank you. I am here to bring the brightness. So
I love it.
Anyway, thank you guys. On that note, thank you, Mal, for hanging out with me. Give Baby Park a nice cheek squeeze and a kiss for us from Auntie Tara. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Please like and subscribe on our Substack. My Substack if you like, but no, on our Seneca project.
Also do Tara Substack.
Thank you. You like my Slay All Day hats? They're being sold over there. But no, like and subscribe on our Seneca Project channel. Please, if you like our video tonight, make sure you spread the word. And if you are feeling like you're in the giving mood, please, you know where your money is going. Please support our efforts here at senecaproject.us. And we will see you guys next week.